Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Only two students have come. Right? Only two are there. Ani? Yeah, I am sharing my screen. Right. Let's wait 1 or 2 more minutes, okay? Right? To see whether anybody else would come. And after that, we'll start the discussion. Right. So I have opened the slide from which I should continue the discussion today. If my memory is correct, right? We are going to talk about the processes of word formation. The latter part of the previous note. Okay, after this, we will move on to the other lesson. And I have already sent you the lecture notes of that lesson also. Okay, we'll wait 1 or 2 minutes, right? Okay.
Okay, madam.
Right, okay. Well, we'll start the discussion now, right? Otherwise, time is passing if we are going to wait more. So, therefore, I'm going to start with the processes of word formation, right? Did I start the discussion on this part previous week? What happened, Sumaya? Did I
No,
talk about? No, I didn't start even with the first one.
no, madam. You just said
Yeah, pardon.
You just gave a small introduction, ma'am, for the first
Oh,
one.
right. Okay. So then I don't have to give any introduction again today also. So let's move on directly to the different processes of word formation today, right? Yeah. So you can find there are 9 different processes. These are the commonly discussed, right? Now, wherever you find anything about word formation processes in relation to any language, these are the processes that are commonly seen and commonly discussed, right? So therefore, you should have a sound idea, sound knowledge, especially examples from the English language should be there in your mind, and you should be able to provide when and where necessary whatever the facts related to the word formation processes along with the relevant examples, right? Actually, if you don't give any example, if you are unable to support what you are telling with relevant examples, then your point is not valuable. It doesn't have any value, right? Okay, that is number one, first point. And my second point is that please try to have some examples on your own. I mean, I'm not asking you to create examples all by yourselves, right? That is not practical and you can't do so. But the thing is, you can find and you can search for more examples than the ones I'm giving you. I have already given you in your note, as well as the ones I'm showing you here, right? Try to find something else, so that what you are writing would be different from what the others may be writing, and also what the lecturer is already familiar with, right? Okay, so then let's talk about the first one, right? Let's begin with the coinage, or we call it neologism, right? Uh, right. Okay. So there are some examples here. So you need to understand this incident along with the examples given. And then after that, when you study these areas later on, you can Google and find more examples. But remember, whatever the example you find and you are going to add to your note, you need to know whereabouts of it, right? Why you are considering that as an example for this particular word formation process. That connection you have to know, and when and where necessary, you should be able to provide it. Okay, right. Talking about coinage, you know, the word coinage, that is a noun form that comes from coin. The word coin, right? Coin means that is not the coin we are normally talking, that monetary unit. We coin a word means we create a word which is totally new. Coining a word means creating a word that is totally new, entirely new word which is not already existing, which is not there already in the vocabulary of the relevant language, right? That is what you mean by coining a word. Coinage is the noun form, and there's the word that has the similar meaning, neologism, the invention of a totally new term, totally new word, right? That is the idea about coinage or neologism, and this can happen in different ways, right? Okay, sometimes we can coin a word from from a proper noun. So most of the examples you can see on screen here are such words, right? These are coined words. These are the words that have been coined from particular proper nouns. Proper nouns means names of people or names of maybe companies, sometimes names of places. Okay, right. This aspirin, sandwich, Hoover, Xerox, nylon, Google, these are names of particular, sometimes some of these are brand names. And Hoover, now do you know about anything about this one, Hoover? Some people call this Hoover machine also. Any idea about the word Hoover? Have you heard about it? Do you have Hoover machines in your houses? Any
Yes,
idea?
ma'am. Yes,
What is
ma'am.
that? What is that?
Vacuum tube.
Yeah, that's a kind of vacuum cleaner, right? And earlier it came actually not as the vacuum cleaner, but Hoover machine. It was called Hoover machine. Now also I think some people are calling it like that. But actually Hoover is the name of the person, right? It is the surname of the person who has got the patent for this newly invented machine. So the machine was named after the person who has got the patent, right? So it's like that. And Xerox is the name of the company, right? Name of the company that produced photocopy machines. Then as a result of that, later on, okay, actually this has to take time. With the time being, people started to call photocopy machines Xerox machines. Xerox machines means photocopy machines. Actually, Xerox is the name of the company that produced photocopy machines. See how the coinage can happen, right? And Google, you know about Google. What is Google? If I ask from you, what do you mean by Google or what is Google? What is that?
Searching something.
Huh? What?
What is?
I
Search
did not.
engine. Search engine.
Search engine. Search engine. Google is a company, right? Now, haven't you heard Google Samagama? You haven't heard. That's a company, right? And that's a search engine. Yeah, that's right. But all these things have been named after that. Okay, right. So likewise, even sandwich is the name of a person as far as I remember. So anyway, all these words have stories behind them, telling how they have come into being, come into the vocabulary of a language. Okay, right. So these are some examples only. Remember, some examples only where we can add totally new words after the names of people, names of companies, sometimes names of some other things. These are some examples only where coinage can happen. But still, I want to add to this. You might find coinage. That means you might find coining new words to the vocabulary of a language in other ways as well, right? Not in this manner. This manner means coining new words after the names of people or places or things. Other than that, you might find some other certain way. So therefore, please broaden your understanding as well as knowledge regarding these different word formation processes. Right? This is only one way which I have discussed here. Right? Okay. Then the next common word formation process is borrowing. Right? Now, borrowing, when you hear the word, you can guess it very clearly because you all know the meaning of the word borrowing, right? Borrowing, we borrow something, right? We get something. Borrowing means getting, right? Actually, getting in the sense another language, right? Words from another language are coming to this language. And the language we are talking at the moment has borrowed some words from other languages. That is the simple idea behind borrowing. Actually, borrowing, the word borrowing is considered to be a noun here. It's a noun form that is used to indicate the words that have been borrowed from other languages. Okay, borrowed. Actually, we use the word borrowing or borrowed words or loan words. Right? All these terms are interchangeably used to mean the same thing. Right. Okay. Lexical borrowing is another term actually, right? It's also known as lexical borrowing because, you know, here we talk about borrowing words, lexemes. Okay, so that's why we have the term lexical borrowing. Here we don't talk about borrowing any grammar patterns or sentence patterns or any other expressions. No, just borrowing the words from other languages. Right, now talking about the English language, there are so many borrowings. You know, actually there is a less number of original English words, right? So many words have come from elsewhere, from other languages to the English language. And actually now we consider all these as English words. What can happen after borrowing is that these borrowed items are adopted in the new language. Adopted means these borrowed items are changed. These changes can happen in spellings or in pronunciation. Sometimes maybe there are maybe certain changes in grammar as well, right? The grammatical information of the word. There may be certain changes, but mostly spelling changes and pronunciation changes take place. Adaptation is that. Okay, so normally that happens when a word comes from another language to a new language. Right, now talking about the English language, there are very few examples here I have given to you. Just for you to get some idea about certain examples, right? Now you can see the original languages, the variety of the original languages: Dutch, French, Bantu, Persian, German, Turkish, Italian, Arabic, Tahitian, Japanese. So these are few, right? And there are many more languages. Actually, you can find so many examples if you just give the term borrowings to the English language in any search engine. Okay, you will get so many examples, long list of examples. So actually, I don't want to here burden you with a long list of examples. Instead, you understand the incident. Understand what is happening in borrowing. And if you are going to write anything elsewhere, especially in your assignments or in your paper or anywhere, you have to provide examples in the English language. Okay, right. So talking about these examples: dope, croissant, zebra, lilac, pretzel, yogurt, piano, sofa, tattoo, tycoon. All these are not originally English words, right? They have come from these relevant languages and now they belong to the English language. That is what is happening after borrowing. They are adopted and after that they are considered to be the English words, right? Okay. Then we have compounding, right? Okay. So there are some blanks in your note, right? There are some blank spaces in your note. So during the discussion, you need to get them filled actually. Okay, for that I will be giving you a few minutes here and there. If you don't have a hard copy, still no problem, right? If you are surviving with soft copies, no issue. Just take a piece of paper and you need to try these words. Then only something will go to the mind actually rather than watching this and listening. Right. Okay. First, get the idea compounding. Compounding, I don't think this is a new concept to you, right? You are familiar with grammar, English grammar. Compound words are quite common, right? Commonly paid attention to in grammar, English grammar also, as well as in linguistics. Compounding means combining words together, right? Combining words together to form new words, It's a type of word formation where we join two words side by side, right? So mostly two words, but there are compound words that are made of more than two words as well, right? But here I just mentioned two, side by side to create a new word, right? That's what is happening. So don't think that we are combining parts of words. No, we are combining full, complete words together, right? Okay, and talking about compounding, there's another matter, especially when we write compound words. How do you write compound word? Do you put a space in between, or do you just don't put any space? You write both words at a stretch, or do you put a hyphen likewise? What's happening when you write compound words? Yeah,
We don't put space between the words.
you put space.
We don't put the.
You don't put any space, then you
It
write
will.
both words at a stretch.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the hyphens? You don't use hyphens also? Yeah,
We use ma'am. We use hyphen.
yeah. The thing is this actually, right? When we talk about the compound words in the English language, there are compound words that belong to all these three categories. There are hyphenated compound words. And there are compound words that are written. I'm talking about the written aspect, okay? Not the pronunciation. I mean, when we talk about the orally pronunciation aspect, we don't care about these punctuations, no? But when it comes to write, you need to think twice whether there has to be a hyphen or whether there has to be just a space in between both words or no space, nothing. You write both words together. There are words that belong to all these three categories, right? But the thing is, you have to know whether there has to be a hyphen or not or space or not. You have to know by using the language, right? There are hard and fast rules there, but we are not going up to that level. But if you are familiar with the language, especially the vocabulary of the English language, then you would be automatically using wherever the hyphens are required, you would be using the word, writing the word like that, and so and so. So be familiar with that aspect also, right? Okay, what about ice cream? Ice cream is a compound noun. How do you write it? Ice cream is not here in this list anyway, right? I just remembered the word. That's why I asked from you. How do you write it?
In between the words, we use the dash.
Hyphen. Yeah, exactly. Right? There is a hyphen. Ice cream is a hyphenated word. So like that, certain words are combined with hyphen. There are certain other words are not. So that should come from your general understanding of the compound words, right? Here we have some examples. Now look at these examples. Actually, still they are not examples, right? Actually, the examples are the ones that you are writing on these dotted lines. But I have given you an idea how we can create compound words. See the internal structure, right? Although we use the word compounding in general, when you look at the inside, right, internal structure, it is made of words from different word classes. See, noun-noun combinations, noun-noun compounds. There are examples, notebook, right? Note plus book, both are nouns. An adjective noun compound, blueberry. Blueberry is a compound noun, right? And verb noun compounds, workroom, work is a verb, and then room is a noun, then workroom. Like that, it goes on. There's a variety there. I'm not going to read everything, but you need to look at this internal structure of the compound words. breastfeed, stir fry, highlight, break up, outrun, bittersweet, into. Right. Okay. So now, before you write these words, give me another idea. What are the word classes of these words? Now, there are examples. They are no, right? Notebook, blueberry, workroom. These are compound words. When we talk about compound words in English, there are basically three categories, right? Compound nouns, compound verbs, compound adjectives. Sometimes compound prepositions are also there. So how do you decide the word class of a compound? Okay, right, we'll talk about it. Take 1 or 2 minutes to write down. Okay. Now, as I told you, even if you don't have a printout of this, never mind. Don't write everything. Just write the compound word only in a piece of paper. And after you finish writing these compound words, next to each and every word, write the word class of that compound word also, whether it's noun, adjective, so and so. Right. Okay.
Okay, madam.
Everybody finished? Did you identify the word classes also? Yeah. Right. First word is notebook. Right? Yeah. Notebook, blueberry, workroom, breastfeed, style. Check your words, right? Highlight, outrun, bittersweet, into. And all the other words except for stir fry are words that are written together actually, right? No space in the middle also. Okay, other than writing the compound words, I asked you to identify the word class also. So you must have done that, right? What about notebook?
Compound noun.
That is compound noun. Okay, I will just put N only, right? N only means not noun only, compound noun. And second one, blueberry.
Compound adjective.
Adjective, blueberry.
Blue is
Blueberry. I'm asking you, identify the word class of the whole word. Don't think about the parts now, the word class of the parts, the whole word. Blueberry, if we have red berry, then red berry, yellow berry. We don't have
noun.
any berries like that. But we have blueberry. Yeah.
Compound noun.
Yeah,
Compound
that's a
adjective.
compound noun. Blueberry is a compound noun. That's a noun. You know about berry, right? We don't have berries in our country, but berries are there. No? That's a noun. Right. Workroom.
Compound noun.
That is also compound noun. And breastfeed. Compound what?
Verb.
Compound verb. Yeah. And stir fry.
Compound verb.
Compound verb. Right. And highlight.
Compound adjective.
Uh, please highlight this line.
Noun. Sorry, verb.
Verb. Compound verb.
Noun.
Highlight is compound
Verb.
verb. We use not highlighter, right? Highlight. Highlight is action. No? That's a verb, right? Compound verb. Outrun.
Compound verb.
Compound verb. And bittersweet. That's a paradox also, right? Something bitter can't be sweet, but there is a nice word called bittersweet. What is the word class? Compound
Adjective.
Adjective.
adjective. Right, correct. Yes. And the last one, into. In plus
Compound.
Compound preposition.
compound preposition, right? Okay, so here actually you don't have to try hard, you don't have to think too much to identify the word class here. There is an easy clue. Did any one of you find that there is an easy clue? Anybody found it to identify the word class of any compound word given? When you look at these word classes, you might find now also. Okay, look at the internal structure of these compound words. First one is notebook. I will not tell everything, but one or two only, right? Then you can catch the trend. First one is notebook. No, notebook is created by combining note and book. Look at the second element. Second element is a noun, right? So the point is this: the word class of the whole compound word is the word class of the second element. Mostly this is common, right? Mostly in most of the situations you can find this. The word class of the whole, I mean the entire compound word is the word class of the second part or second word inside it. The first one, notebook, book is a noun, so notebook is a noun. And second one, blueberry, right? If you are unable to find out what the word class is, look at the second element, berry. Berry is a noun. Then what do we do? By adding an adjective, we just modify that noun. That's all. But the main idea is indicated by a noun. So blueberry is a noun there. And workroom, second element is a noun. So that's a noun. But about breastfeed and stir fry, second elements are verbs here. What kind of feed and what kind of frying? They are actions. So they are compound verbs, even highlight. Verb. Outrun, second element is a verb, so the entire compound word is a verb. But when you think about the bittersweet, you know, both are adjectives. So second element is anyway an adjective. That is a compound adjective. And preposition combination, that's a preposition. Okay, so remember, this is an easy way if you are at a trouble to find out the word class when you just think about the grammar aspect. Okay, This would be an easy clue. Okay, right. I think the point is clear, right? Okay, we'll move on to the next one, blending, right? Another popular word formation process actually. Popular means there are so many words, so many new words that have been created through the process of blending, right? Now, you know, blending. Blend means mix. Blending means mixing. It's a kind of combination, right? Blending is also combination, but here this combination is different from the previous combination, which we discussed under compounding. Here in blending, what happens is that we combine, right? We combine parts of two different words. We do not combine two different words together. We combine parts of two different or two separate words and form a single new word. Blending is that. That is where blending differs from compounding. I have given that explanation, right? In blending, we do not use both words in complete sense, but the newly derived word has part of both words. Okay, right. There are examples here also. Still, you need to write the examples. I have given the original words. Original in the sense we have, for example, smoke and fog. Smoke is one word, fog is another word. When these two words can undergo the blending process, then the result is smoke. From smoke, we have first part, right? And from fog, actually O belongs to both. We have the letter G. So that is how we derive the new word, blending. Always remember, blend, we blend just the parts, not the complete word. So there is a work for you there. You can complete the blanks. Yeah. Okay, Sumaya. Others also please write now. Now while I am talking, you must have written the Sumaya. You were writing while I was talking.
No, madam. I
Okay.
already.
It
I
doesn't
did
matter,
not.
right? You know, anyway, I know that you people are multitasking people. You can listen, understand, and also at the same time, right? No problem. Fine, good. Others also please finish. Hmm. Okay, fine. Have the others finished?
Yes, ma'am.
How about the first one? Smoke plus smirk.
Smug.
Yeah, you can actually catch the common part, the part that's common for both words, right? And then you said, okay. Anyway, I'm going to show you the word list. Second one, smoke and haze.
Maze.
Yes.
And hotel, motor. That is very common one, right? Hotel and motor.
Motel.
Hotel.
Yes. And breakfast and lunch.
Brunch.
Brunch.
And brunch, information and entertainment.
Infotainment.
Entertainment, right? French and English.
English.
Last one, Spanish and English.
Spanglish.
What about Sinhala and English?
Singlish.
Huh? What? Singlish.
Singlish.
Sinhala and English, that is Singlish. Right, okay. Franglish. French and English, quite unfamiliar kind of word. Right, okay. These are some examples, but there are quite a lot of examples in the English language. Words that have been created through the process of blending. Okay, you can check your writings. Okay. Right, shall I move on to the next process?
Okay, madam.
Finished? Okay. Right. Then clipping. Right. Clipping is actually, I started telling that all these processes are commonly used word formation processes. So clipping is also the same, right? Very common, and we have so many words in the English language that have been clipped. Actually, that have been created anew through clipping. You know, clip means cut, no? Right? Cut something short. That is what you mean by clip, right? And clipping is cutting. Then, so in clipping as a word formation process, you need to understand we cut a part of a word, right? We cut and remove a part of a word, and then the remaining part is used as a new word. That is the incident. Yeah. The original word is reduced to one of its parts, resulting in the formation of a new word, right? Okay, this process is also known as truncation. You know, truncate means cut a short, right? Truncation, another term. Yeah, in clipping then the word is shortened, but this is important, meaning remains the same. There's no change or damage caused to the meaning, right? Original meaning is there, it's preserved, but we cut certain parts. So this clipping can happen mostly due to the easiness of using the words. Usually long, lengthy words are undergoing clipping, right? People cut off lengthy words and remove certain parts, and the remaining parts are started to be used as the new words. And here you have some examples. Actually, please write the examples of the clipping. That means I have given you the longer forms. You need to identify what the new words are. You don't have to create new words, okay? Already in the English language, we are using the clipped forms of these longer words. Already we are using. The only thing is you need to find them. And the first example is a bit different. There you have two parts. So we clip both words. We clip parts from both words. And the result would be a word that contains two parts in it. Okay? Right. Just try this. Write down also. Yeah. It's easy, right? But Sumaya, one is missing.
What, madam?
First one. First one, first example.
Okay, madam, I will check.
Others also please try and tell me when you finish. What about the first example? First one. How do you clip it?
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Sorry.
Pop. Pop. P-O-P. Pop.
Pop what?
For popular music, man.
Yeah, popular music is the word, original word.
Pop music. Pop music.
We use pop music. Actually, music we don't clip, but popular music, we can clip it into pop music. Second one,
Fax.
this is faxed. Actually, it is the clipped version that is more familiar to us. Some people don't even know when they look at this word, right? Facsimile. And, gymnasium, we never
Gym.
ever worry about telling the whole word, right? Gym, that's all. And even memorandum, same fate, memo.
Memo.
And we talking about advertisements, we say
Ad.
ads.
Ad.
And demonstration, demo.
Demo.
It's like that, right? Okay. Here also I have mentioned pop, but should be pop music. Better to write the long music part as well. Okay, clipping is like that. Okay, before I go into back formation, of course, talking about clipping, there are a limited number of examples here I have given to you, but there are different ways of clipping. Okay, different ways of clipping. When you talk about clipping, there are actually three different ways. We can clip. This is not available in the note. Okay, not even in the slide. I'm just adding. We can clip the front part of a word, right? And sometimes we can clip the back part of a word. And also we can clip both front and back part together, preserving the middle part only. Oh, keeping the middle part. Accordingly, now we have three different types like front clipping, back clipping, and middle clipping. Front clipping, what do we mean? In front clipping, we clip the front part. In back clipping, we clip the back part of the original word. In middle clipping, we don't clip the middle part. Instead, we clip the front as well as the back part, both parts. and then have the middle part as the new word. Right? Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes, right? Not a long time. Don't try to Google and find information there. Try to browse through your memory, not the any websites, okay? And identify at least one or two examples for each category, right? These three categories, that will be a good practice for you. That's why I'm asking you to write words now. First category is number one. I'm not going to write here. I'll just write the first letter only. Front clipping. And the second category, back clipping. Third category, middle clipping. Okay, write at least two words. What are the words? Don't use the given examples, right? Think of something new. Okay, I'll give you 2-3 minutes, right? Right. What about the first category? Yeah, Sumaya, I can see your message. Front clipping. Examples for front clipping. Others, have you tried to find some words? Front part is cut off. Front clipping. Yeah, mobile phone, phone. Correct. And those who have written, could you please switch on your mics and tell me? Yeah. Only one has done the work. You need to find, okay, right? If you have not done the work, you need to find words and write for both, not both, actually, for all the three parts there. And thank you, Sumaya, for your examples. Backclipping, yeah, television, back clipping. We remove the back part, okay? We cut the back part, no? But how do you explain TV into, sorry, television into TV? It's,
It is wrong, madam.
no, yeah, it's wrong, right? TV is just an abbreviated form of television.
Yeah,
That's
madam.
all. According to back clipping, then it should be tele, no? We remove the back part. Okay, television is not an example.
Madam, doctor, doc.
Doc. Yeah.
It is the back
The
clipping.
back part is gone there, right? Yeah, it's clipped. We use the front part. And professor, prof,
Prof. Yes,
prof,
madam.
right, like that. Okay. To understand the point clearly, you have to write examples, right? And middle clipping, yeah, the commonest example is fridge. Fridge is coming from refrigerator, and you know, the front part as well as the back part both are removed there, right? The fridge is there in the middle, so it is being taken as a new word. And the other common example for the middle clipping is
True.
flu from influenza. Yeah, these are the commonly used words. And there are some more words, but they are not that common, but you have to find them, right? Have to find and add to this list. Don't be happy with the examples I have given and I have told now also. You need to find something new, right? Okay. Yeah. Then we will move on to the next category, back formation. Right, back formation, you all have to understand this very carefully, because this is a particular word formation process where students make mistakes a lot. Other concepts are comparatively easy. You can get the idea very clearly. But back formation, if you don't get the idea clearly, your examples will be wrong, right? Back formation is the word formation process where a new word is derived by removing what appears to be an affix. Removing what appears to be an affix. Mostly affix means suffix. Okay, which means now original word is there. Right? This is the original, in the sense already existing word, old word. It is there like this. I'm drawing single lines here. Right? And inside this word, at the end, mostly at the end, that is why I told you suffix, right? Mostly at the end, we have a particular ending or particular part which looks like a suffix, right? Which looks like a suffix. Then with the time being, what happens, right? We remove this last part. Okay, we remove this last part, then the already, from the already existing word, other than the remove part, the rest, that means the first part, is started to be used as a new word. That is called back formation. Right? This part then is started to be used as a new word. Okay. Usual happening is actually the opposite of this, no? Right? Wherever you meet the term word formation process, and especially talking about derivation. Okay, derivation we are going to talk next, but already you know about derivation, right? We do the reverse, no? Reverse means we have a root word, okay? We have a root word like this. And then what do we do? If we just talk about the suffixes, we add the suffix and then we create a new word by combining a suffix to the root. The new word has the suffix. That is the commonest method, this one. But back formation is a reversal of it. Where originally we have a word inside of which there is something like suffix. Then with the time being, what do? We remove that suffix looking part and then whatever the remaining, just like the something which looks like the root, we start using it as a new word. Okay, right. You have some examples for the already existing words, actually all words. These are the old words. Administrate, cohabitate, delimitate, interpretate, orientate, registrate, revolute, and solicitate. Now you can find in all these words, you have a similar ending. Okay, suffix like ending is there. Then what are the new words that we can create by applying the process of back formation to these words? You need to write them. Okay, guess and write. I should tell you these examples are actually one particular category of examples actually, because all are ending with the same suffix. But there are other different examples as well. Okay, we'll think of some. But first, write these words.
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
Madam, shall I ask the small doubt regarding the
Yeah,
assignment?
sure. Yeah, sure.
Madam, and the assignment, the fourth question in describe the following words with the reference to the criteria that can be used to characterize them. So I don't know, madam, how to write the answer for that question. That means, do we have to describe the word class?
Could you please repeat the question?
Describe the following words with the reference to the criteria that can be used to characterize them. The words are right, farmer, dishonest, small, and team.
Yeah, yeah. At some part, somewhere at the beginning of our discussion on words, right? I
ma'am.
was referring to the different informations actually, right? Different informations, or you can take them as criteria that can be used to describe words, right?
Other things
Criteria.
do we have to describe the word class and all?
No. Words classes are also there, but other than that, there are a lot of criteria. Actually, the list of criteria I was discussing somewhere at the beginning of after the discussion of the definitions of words, if I remember correct. Yeah. Some criteria. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what they are. You need to
Okay,
find.
ma'am.
Not the word classes only, yeah? Right?
Right, okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, right. Now forget the assignment and do this. First word, yeah. Hmm. Did you write? Cohabitate. Uh, remove the suffix only, right? You have removed both suffix as well as prefix, Sumaya.
Yes, madam.
Interpret, it's not there. Where is media? You have taken media from remediate. Totally different meaning then. Volute, there's no word called volute. You need to think again. Now, what about the others? Are you writing or have you finished writing? Or have not started writing? What about the other students? Are you trying this?
Yes, madam.
Finished or still doing?
Still doing, madam.
Okay, okay, then finish. Follow this. That's all. Follow this line. The first line. Don't think too much. Back formation is the simple reversal of what we already know as derivation. But especially in back formation, we remove the last part, right? So there's no issue if you write here affix, suffix. Right, okay, I'll show you the list. Check your words. Right. Say the words administer. The original word is administrate. So we are removing the latter part only. Latter part means the suffix looking part. Excuse me. And sorry for the interruption. Right, I had an urgent call. Yeah. Other words you must be checking, right? Then cohabitate, we have cohabit only, as latter part remove. And delimitate, delimit. Now, can you understand how back formation happens? Orientate, we have orient. And registrate, we have register now. New word is register. Remediate, remedy. Okay, tell me which word is more familiar to you, remediate or remedy? From these two words, which is more familiar? Are you using remediate?
No, ma'am.
Not much, right? Instead, we use remedy, the noun form. But you should know remedy is just the new word, the word that has been created after the remediate, after removing the latter part. And from revolute, we have revolt, and solicitate, solicit. Right, okay. So these are some examples where we have it, suffix it is removed. And other than that, there are words like ER ending, right? The ending of ER, sometimes we remove it. Other than adding ER, we remove the already existing ER, right? The commonest example from that category is babysitter, right? Babysitter. There are two words there, but still babysitter is the original word, old word. From babysitter, babysitter ends with ER. At the end of sitter, ER is there. We remove ER. Then we have babysit. Babysit is the
Madam,
new
for
name.
revolute,
Yeah.
sorry, madam, for the word revolute, can't we say revol? REVOLVE?
Revolve. No, that is a different word actually, right? There we have different spellings also, no? Revolt is one another word, and revolve is yet another word that has a different meaning.
Okay.
Here, revolute and revolt, they carry somewhat related meanings. But when you talk about revolve, that has a different meaning. Okay, right? So the thing is, when you talk about the semantics, right, meaning aspect, even after we remove this suffix part, right, still both words are related in meaning. You know, administrate and administer, both words are morphologically related. Only difference is there may be some grammatical differences. Maybe the new word belongs to another word class. Only that kind of differences. Morphologically, both words are connected. Okay, right. That is the characteristic of back formation. And for that ER example, you will find more examples actually, right? The words like babysitter. There are so many words like that. Find some. Because always don't think in back formation we are removing ATE only. There are many more suffixes that are removed and the root is started to be used as a new word. Okay, then what do you think? Back formation, is that clear? The process?
Yes, madam.
Right.
Yes, madam.
Hope you would not confuse with this one then. Right, let's move on to the next word formation process, that is conversion. Conversion, another term is there, zero derivation, right? Zero derivation means actually there is no derivation. No derivation. Derivation, what do you mean by derivation? Derivation means adding derivational morphemes or derivational affixes to a root and forming new word, deriving new words. That is derivation. Zero derivation means we don't add any derivational affix. No suffix, no prefix, nothing. We don't add anything at all. Right? But still, the old word is converted to a new word. Old word That means the word that is already existing in the vocabulary is converted to a new word there. See the description. Conversion is the word formation process where a word of one grammatical form becomes a word of another grammatical form without any changes to spelling or pronunciation. Right. Okay, I underline the key line. This is what is happening in conversion. Remember the term, right? Mostly we use the word conversion. Zero derivation is not very much used. But conversion, the word conversion is commonly used to indicate this process. So what is happening there? Look at this example. Bottle, first example. Actually, the first example is given here as email, but I would talk about bottle here, right? Bottle and two bottle. What are the differences when you look at these two words? First word is actually noun, right? It's the noun, and second word is the verb. To indicate that the second word is a verb, I have given two. I have given the preposition to, which means this is to infinitive. Okay. In to infinitive, you know exactly after the preposition to, what is the following item? The base form of the verb. Accordingly, here in two bottle, right? Bottle is a verb. Bottle is a verb. But usually, bottle is a noun. We use bottle as a noun. But later on, right, with the passing of the time, people have started to use the noun bottle as a verb. You can easily understand it by looking at the words like email. Okay. The example, in the very first example with the explanation, the noun email appeared in English before the verb. Right, before the verb. Email was there as the noun in English language. A decade ago, I would have sent you an email, right? A decade ago, I would have sent you an email. So their email is the noun. Whereas now, I can either send you an email or simply email you. So what do you mean by email you? I will email you. That means I will send you an email. But without telling it like that, we can directly say, I will email you. Their email is the verb. See the conversion then from noun to verb. Noun email is converted to verb email. So you can find, yeah.
Madam, so zero derivation mean is that shifting a word from a noun to a verb?
Mostly from noun to verb, sometimes from verb to noun as well, right? The thing is, in zero derivation, what you need to understand is that there is only grammatical changes happening, only grammatical changes. That means syntactic category change. By syntactic category, what do we mean? Word class. In simple terms, word class. So remember then, in zero derivation or conversion, we talk about word class change only. Other than that, there is no change occurring in the spellings or pronunciation, or we don't add any suffix or prefix to change the word class. Just the word class change. But you can't actually understand it when I put the words in a list in this way, right? This is not can to can, closet to closet, email to email, I to I am eyeing at you. See, you know, I is a normal noun, right? Normally we use I as a noun, but he was eyeing at her. There we use I as a verb. Fiddle to fiddle, fool to fool, and Google to Google. That is common, I think, you know. Host to host. So these are some examples where from traditional noun form, these words are converted to verb forms. Then if you are going to write anything about conversion, then definitely you need to put these words in sentences, just like in this email example. right? Otherwise, you can't clearly show the conversion unless you put the two words in sentences, both as noun and verb. Okay. Do you think you get some idea about what conversion is?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a very simple incident, because no changes, nothing. Only the word class is changing. But practically, you can't show the word class change if you don't put these words in sentences. That means the function. The context should be there. That is the requirement. Okay. Right. After that, we have acronym. Acronym as a word formation process. Then you know about acronym because always we see these words, right? NATO, ASAP, AVOL, laser, NASA, NASDAQ, PIN, radar, scuba, TESL, WASP, like that. So many words are there which are called acronyms, right? These are acronyms. Then how do you think acronyms are created? This is the point. Word means acronym is a word formed from initials or other parts of several words. We have North Atlantic Treaty Organization. From that, we are taking the first letter of each word. We take N, A, T, and O. And then we arrange them together and form a word out of it. Acronym is that. Okay, right. Now you have another small work. Try to fill with the long forms of the words which you know, right? Try to do at least few words you might know. You might be familiar with at least some of these words. Okay. At least TESL, ASAP, PIN, NASA, you might know. So please write. Don't wait till I put the words onto the screen. You need to have your effort. What do you think about ASAP? Very commonly used.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, as soon as possible. Yeah, Sumaya. War, absent without leave. Okay, you have found pin, right? Okay, just complete your notes, right? And understand the mechanics behind the formation of acronym. Okay, if you have not written yet, you can take a screenshot or a photo, or even later on you can just find and write. Okay, because these are quite common, you can find them. Right. The next one, wait. Right. Okay. Before we go into the derivation, just I want to add another thing here also, talking about acronym. Right? There's another similar word formation process which is not added to the note or not even to the slide here, but I want to tell you that is called alphabetic abbreviation or initialism. There are two terms there, initialism or alphabetic abbreviation. There also we form new words the similar way. Similar way means we pick the first letter of each and every word and then we arrange them together and form a new word, right? Similar formation, but pronunciation is different. Acronym we pronounce as one word, okay? Because we can do it very easily. There are vowel sounds in the middle, at the end, like NATO. Easily we can pronounce the letters at a stretch as a word. ASAP, a wall, laser, NASA, Nasdaq, pin. In all these words, easily we can pronounce them as a word. But talking about alphabetic abbreviation, we don't pronounce these first letters as a word at a stretch. Instead, we pronounce these letters separately or individually one by one. Right? You can add that as well to your note here, although it's not available in my slide or in the given note. What are some examples for alphabetic abbreviations? If you can think of any example now. We pick the first letters of a longer phrase, but we pronounce these letters one by one. If there are, for example, 3 letters, we pronounce all the 3 letters one by one. Do you remember any example? Yeah.
Initialism, one example, madam, ATM.
Sorry, Sumaya, I did not hear. What's that?
ATM, initial abbreviation.
ATM. Yeah. Yes. You said ATM, right? What's that? Sasna?
FBI, DVD,
FBI. Yes. Okay, there are many, right?
USB.
Yes. USB, PC, personal computer. And what about this WHO? Do we say who?
No.
Yeah, there is who there in English grammar, the question word. But WHO, World Health Organization, we don't say who, no, right? According to acronym, it should be who, but we separate when WWW, World Wide Web, we separately pronounce the initial letters. Okay, so it would be fine if you can add some examples and write the difference between acronym and alphabetic abbreviations in your note. Okay. Because these two are actually interrelated. A similar way of forming, although pronunciation is different. Okay, right. Do you want some more time to finish? Shall I move on to the next one? Yeah. Okay, I'm moving. Then derivation, we call it affixation as well, right? Affixation is the broader term, and derivation is the more specific term. Because you know, affixation means adding both prefixes and suffixes, right? And these affixes, either prefixes or suffixes, can either be derivational affixes or inflectional affixes. But by the word derivation, we are limited actually, right? There we are talking about adding some affixes that can change the meaning or the word class of the root word. Derivation is the creation of words, right? Creation of words by modification of a root without the addition of other roots. Without the addition of other roots, but actually this line is not perfect one, not a 100% complete one, right? So you need to get the idea to your mind, and if necessary, you can add it to the note as well. Derivation is the creation of words by modifying the root, okay, without the addition of other roots, but by the addition of derivational affixes. By adding derivational prefixes or derivational suffixes. Then you need to know wherever you see the word derivation, okay, you should understand what is happening to the root word by adding derivational affixes. What kind of things are happening to the root word? Then as I earlier mentioned, either we change the meaning of the root word, okay, or we change the word class of the root word. And sometimes we derive a new word which belongs to the same word class of the root word, introducing a subclass. So these are the three main functions of derivational morphology, right? Already we have discussed these things, so I don't want to talk again, right, the same stuff, but you need to relate here, right? You need to, with reference to what we have previously discussed, you need to understand this part. Then in derivation, remember we talk about attaching derivational affixes to a root word. Then as a result, either of these three things can happen. Change in the meaning of the root, change in the word class of the root, or introducing the subclass of the word class of the root. Right, okay, there are simple examples there. Clear, clear is the original word, right, old word, and we create or we derive unclear from clear. Then how do we derive unclear? By adding the prefix un to the root word clear. Then prefix un is a derivational prefix. Because by adding un, we change the meaning of the root. You know, clear and unclear, opposite in meaning. Unclear has the opposite meaning from clear. Meaning change. Word class does not change, but meaning change. Okay, right. And the other example, I hope you can understand that also. Washable. Where able is the prefix, sorry, suffix. Able is the suffix, and that is derivational suffix. By adding able to the root wash, okay, we change the meaning as well as the word class. Both happens. Talking about the meaning, wash means wash is the action, no? Like this is the verb. Then washable is the adjective. This is verb and washable is the adjective, right? The word class changes from verb to adjective. Other than that, other than the word class change, there is a slight semantic change also, meaning change. Wash is the action and washable is ability to or potential, possibility to wash. That slight modification to the meaning also takes place when we add the derivational suffix able. Okay. Derivation is like that, and this is the opposite of inflection. In inflection, we change the grammatical information only. Okay, we don't change meaning or word class or nothing, right? We change the grammatical status of the word, and this is not the time to talk about inflection because we are talking about word formation processes. Then remember, derivation is one type of word formation process. That's the point. Is that clear? Derivation.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, you have to add some points to this line, okay? This opening line is not a complete one. It doesn't give you a complete idea about derivation. Their derivation is the creation of words. I'm repeating. Creation of words by modifying the root, adding derivational affixes. Without adding other roots, but adding derivational prefixes or suffixes. Okay. Yeah, right. We are going to sum up our discussion with idioms. Idioms are there. So I thought of adding something from idioms also to close our discussion. Don't think that idioms is another way of word formation process, right? Our discussion of word formation processes ends with derivation. And idioms is another subtopic which should be discussed when we talk about these the parts on words, okay? Because our discussion is based on words and words formation process. No, word formation process is over, but still we are dealing with the words, the idioms. Now you might know idioms, you know idioms, but can I ask the question from you? Are you using idioms? You may know idioms, right? There's no doubt there. But are you using idioms when you use the English language?
Yes, madam, sometime.
Sometimes. In speaking or writing?
Speaking and writing, both, madam.
Both. Both. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. I have another question also. Formal writing or informal writing?
Informal writing.
Exactly, right? Because idiomatic expressions are not a characteristic of formal style, even if you are speaking or writing. Okay, that's something which you need to know about idioms. So, what are idioms then? They are phrases. Sometimes they can be seen as phrases or expressions that have a figurative meaning, right? Figurative meaning that is different from the literal meaning of the individual words. You know about the literal meaning is the denotative meaning, that means the superficial meaning, the word meaning. But in idioms, actually, we do not mean the word meaning, right? We do not mean the superficial meaning of an expression. Instead, we mean something underneath. That is more a figurative meaning. You know about figurative language, right? Figurative language means using similes, metaphors, alliterations, personifications, exaggerations, etc. Figurative language. Figurative meaning is also the same, right? You express one thing, but you mean another thing. In idioms, that happens. These phrases often convey a cultural or contextual meaning. Okay? Either cultural or contextual meaning that may not be immediately apparent to non-native speakers or those unfamiliar with the idiomatic usage that is there, that issue is there with idioms. The non-native speakers may not know unless they learn deliberately, right? Okay. Then, we use idioms to add color, vividness, variety, and nuance to communication, right? Okay, if there are idioms in what we say, it would be quite it would break the monotony of the listener, and the listener would feel kind of interested in listening if the listener also knows the idioms, right? Otherwise, the scene is different. That's there. Okay, kick the bucket. But I have to repeat that earlier point because idiomatic expressions, the use of idiomatic expressions is not very formal. All right. Okay. Kick the bucket means die. Okay. And break the ice. Breaking the ice. That means starting a conversation or relieving tension in a social setting. Either of these ideas can be conveyed by breaking the ice. Okay, right? And cost an arm and a leg means very expensive. Hit the nail on the head. Yeah, you describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem, right? Exactly, referring to something to the point. Only a few examples are added by myself here to the note. Okay. And could you please check whether these questions are available in your note?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. No answers, right? There are 5 sentences here and another 5 after that. But although these questions come as 2 sets, I think the same thing you have to do. First one, choose the correct idiom that fits the context. The second one is also somewhat the same, right? Choose the correct idiom to complete each sentence. Actually, I do not want you to try this now because, yeah, we have 10 minutes, but I would like to move on to, okay, you have done the work, Sumaya?
Yes, madam. I did
Already
all.
you have done.
Yeah, madam.
Okay, good, right? And others, please, you also, other students do this. And you can easily do this work. If any idiom is not familiar, you can search it and find the idiom, right? I do not want to spend time with this one at the moment. Okay, this is just a practice for you. Yeah, Sumaya, thanks a lot. I don't know whether the others can see your, only I can see. Is that so?
Yeah, madam.
Fine. That's good. Then the others have work, right? Okay. Thanks for your answers. And others, please complete this work, right? When you study this module, have some extra time to be familiar with these idioms and by means of finding the answers. Okay, right. Just take it as a practice, and that's all. Yeah, right. We were talking about this particular topic, internal structure of words and processes of word formation. This is what we discussed. Actually, I didn't spend a long time with idioms, which I don't think is too much necessary to spend a long time. If you know about idioms with examples, that is the expectation there. But other areas I have comparatively allocated long time and explained, right? If you have any problem with these areas, you can raise them now. You can ask whatever the thing which is not clear or doubtful, because I don't have any time to come back to these areas again before I close this. Any doubt?
No, madam.
Right? Okay. Are you tired in listening? Even if you are tired, I don't think that you would say yes.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I told you. I know. Anyway, we don't have a long time left, right? We have, yeah, few more minutes. So therefore, I don't want to discuss a lot here. I just wanted to start. That's all. Okay, I have given this note, uploaded this note in your group. This is from grammatical categories. Grammatical categories in the sense, the areas I am going to pay attention to are these actually. Okay, I'm really sorry for these embarrassing animations. Right, okay. What do you mean by grammatical categories? Grammatical categories, you can, okay, find this one. That is a linguistic category which has the effect of modifying the forms of some class of words in a language, lengthy sentence, right? But all the time when we deal with a language, right, especially in these classes, lectures, we very often meet the term grammatical category, right? We find it very often. Grammatical category. Then you have to have a very clear idea in your mind regarding what grammatical category means. So what is it? It's a linguistic category which has the effect of modifying the forms of some class of words in a language. So grammatical category is a particular category where we can find a set of words that have been modified into some particular word class. Okay, right? Okay, now look at these examples. Yeah, not the examples, types. When we talk about grammatical categories, there are some existing in English grammar, right? We have grammatical category of tense, not always the word class, right? Grammatical category of voice and grammatical category of aspect and mood. So these are the things we are going to pay our attention to in this short lesson. Actually, this is not a lengthy lesson, and don't think that we are going to talk about tenses in detail, voice, aspect, mood in detail. No, already you have this note. You can go through the pages. Our intention here is not to discuss these grammatical categories in detail, but other than that, we are going to recognize or identify the nature of these grammatical categories. That's all. In a kind of different point of view. But so far, now you must have attended some private classes, you must have followed some courses to learn English language, right? Sometime back in your life. So in all these situations, definitely you must have learned about all the 12 tenses. 8 tenses in relation to passive voice, active and passive, differences and aspect, 4 aspects, what each and every aspect means, and mood. All these things you must have learned in detail. But what are the implications? What you have taken to your mind by now about these different grammatical categories? We are going to find an answer to that question. Otherwise, don't think that we are going to talk about, for example, tenses from number 1 to number 12. No, nothing like that, okay? This is not a grammar lesson. We will be talking something about these grammatical categories from a different perspective. That is what we are going to do next, right? Not today, of course. Now you must be tired in listening. We have only a few more minutes left, but I'm going to wind up the discussion with this one. Okay, I just did a small introduction only. And after that, yeah, you can find here the areas. Okay, just be familiar with these grammatical categories. Okay, that's all. Sometimes you might come across some new ideas as well, new points, new grammar points even. Okay, right. So I'm going to wind up the discussion with this point, and next week would be the last week of this module, right? And I have the intention of discussing something brief from semantics as well. So before I meet you next Wednesday, I will send the note relevant to the next and the last lesson as well. Okay, I will upload it to the group, and that is also going to be something short, okay, covering the semantics area, and you will be introduced to the new concepts, the commonly discussed concepts in semantics. That's the plan. Okay then, right? And apart from that, if you have any problem or any doubt so far throughout this module, right, please forward them also during the next session, because that is the last session. Okay, right? Anything you want to talk about now or ask now? Do you have anything?
No, madam.
Okay, right. Well, then I will wind up today's discussion. See you next week, right? Okay,
Thank
good
you,
night,
madam.
all of you.
Good night, madam.
Okay, madam. Good night, madam.